Some men spend years thinking the secret to awakening a woman's desire lies in performance in bed. They believe a strong penis solves everything. But the truth is, no matter how important that may be, there's something even more powerful. And many men have no idea. When this something is activated, she starts looking at you differently, seeks you out more, gets closer with real intention, and often doesn't even understand why. It has nothing to do with strength or size. It's about a kind of connection that sparks a silent, deep, and genuine desire in her. When a man understands this mechanism and learns how to use this subtle trick that activates female desire without her even realizing it, everything changes. The relationship regains its warmth, closeness, and emotional connection. I'm Dr. Laura Margel, psychologist and sex therapist with over 15 years of experience. I've worked with hundreds of men going through this exact situation. Their partner wasn't showing much interest anymore, and they felt lost. But when they applied this simple and completely natural shift, they noticed a real difference. And that's what I want to show you, point by point, in this video. Take this moment to check if you're already subscribed to the channel. Here, the focus is on health and well-being for men over 50, with clear, no-nonsense information. If this content resonated with you, hit the like button. It helps the video reach more men who need to hear this message. And leave a comment. Type 1 if you like the topic, or 0 if you want to suggest something else. Your participation helps keep the channel alive and aligned with what you really want to see. Some men spend hours at the gym thinking six-pack abs will make their wife want them just by looking. Others bet everything on performance, convinced that strength, endurance, and skills will be enough. And then there are those who believe money is the game changer. If I provide comfort and stability, she'll want to be close. Not quite. All of that has value. Looks matter, taking care of your health is essential, and generosity is not a bad thing. But when it comes to female desire, these things alone won't do the job. You know that guy who does everything right, bends over backward to please, but still hears "not tonight"? That's a sign something's off. The mistake is thinking like a man. Male desire is direct, quickly triggered by visual and physical stimuli. Female desire is more complex. It's like a movie. It needs a captivating start, atmosphere, and emotional connection. If the man only offers the end of the story, he loses her interest before they're even halfway there. When he gets this, everything changes. It's not about impressing. It's about reaching what truly matters to her. And that's what many men haven't realized yet. A man sees, feels, wants a neckline, a way she walks, a casual pose, and desire flips on like a switch. But with women, that switch doesn't work the same way. Or rather, it does exist, but it's turned on differently. Much more subtly, gradually, and with many layers. Some men don't understand why their wife seems distant, even when they think everything's fine. He gets dressed up, makes jokes, approaches with affection, but she doesn't respond with the same excitement. That's when frustration kicks in, but it's not rejection. It's a difference in how desire works. If you want to go deeper and truly strengthen your connection with your partner, check out my ebook, Rediscovering Intimacy: Healthy Sexuality After 60. It brings practical guidance to reignite desire, overcome common blocks, and experience more pleasure and closeness in your relationship. The link is in the first pinned comment. It's straightforward content, made for those who want to regain control of their intimate life with confidence and ease. Women need mood, context. They don't feel attracted just by what they see. What stirs female desire involves the atmosphere, her experiences throughout the day, how she was treated. It's like her body only responds when her heart is at peace. That's why, often, what truly makes a difference isn't visible in the mirror. It's what was said at breakfast, the tone of the lunch conversation, the attention to small details. That's what sparks her desire. It's not about the looks, it's about the bond. A woman's desire isn't born in the bedroom. It's built in the hours before, through gestures, words, the simplest attitudes. While a man can be ready in seconds, a woman needs context, consistency, and above all, connection. A common situation: the husband spends the day away, comes home, eats dinner in silence, sits on the couch, and only shows interest at night when the lights are off. Her reaction? Cold, distant, maybe even uncomfortable. But it's not bad will. It's just that nothing during the day fueled that desire. When a woman feels seen, heard, and respected, she relaxes, and in that state of relaxation, her body begins to respond. A sincere compliment over breakfast, a helping hand in the kitchen, an unhurried talk about the day. Those small gestures prepare the ground. A man who understands this starts nurturing her desire early in the day with presence and attention. And when night falls, her body and mind are much more receptive. Not because it was forced, but because it felt natural. Female desire blossoms through care, not rush, and that changes everything. Some men think that, when the time is right, things will magically fall into place. But if a woman spent her day overwhelmed, chasing after 1,000 tasks, worried about the kids, work, or bills, desire simply vanishes. It's not a lack of love or interest. It's her body saying there's no space for anything else. Stress acts like a brake on female desire. When she's tense, her body goes into alert mode, as if saying, "Not now, I have to survive first." And sex, which should be pleasurable, turns into another obligation. In these conditions, even a gentle touch can feel invasive, even when it's not. And then there's fatigue, the twin brother of stress. Physical exhaustion drains vital energy. The mind may want it, but the body doesn't respond. A woman needs to feel light, comfortable, and safe for desire to arise. Without that care, intimacy loses its charm and becomes mechanical or absent. That's why an attentive man learns to care for her before expecting anything from her. When rest and calm return, so does desire, and often with even more intensity. Some men do everything to please but feel their wife doesn't respond with the same enthusiasm. They give gifts, offer compliments, take her out to dinner, and nothing. The answer may lie in a simple difference in love language. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Love Languages, showed that each person feels loved in a specific way. And if the way a man shows love isn't the way she values it, the connection fades. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Sometimes he says, "I love you" all the time, but she only feels loved when he helps with chores around the house. Or he brings flowers every week, but what she really wants is time to talk, without a phone in hand. When a woman feels loved in the way that truly touches her heart, something shifts. She relaxes, opens up, feels emotionally safe, and that activates her body, her mind, and her libido. The feeling of being understood, cared for, and appreciated affects her deeply. Learning your wife's love language isn't just a sweet gesture. It's a direct shortcut to desire, without pressure or demands. Discovering your wife's love language may sound complicated, but in practice, it's much simpler than it seems. You don't need to be an expert. The secret lies in paying attention and asking the right question at the right moment. One of the most direct ways is to ask, "How do you know I love you?" It sounds simple, and it is. Her answer will be full of clues about what really makes a difference to her. Another tip is to observe how she shows affection. If she enjoys cooking for you, her love language might be acts of service. If she's always hugging you, physical touch could be the main one. If she gives you little gifts for no reason, then gifts may be how she expresses love, and probably how she prefers to receive it too. It's common for her love language to be different from yours, and that's where the challenge begins. Sometimes a man puts in a lot of effort, but in the wrong language. And no matter how well-intentioned he is, it doesn't land. Discovering her language is like tuning a radio to the right frequency. When it's right, the connection becomes clear, and desire starts to show up effortlessly. When a man starts acting in alignment with what his wife truly values, something shifts. She becomes lighter, in a better mood, more affectionate, and often doesn't even know exactly why. She just feels that being close to him feels better, safer, more intimate, and that, without needing grand speeches, changes the whole atmosphere between them. It's like planting seeds throughout the day, a sincere compliment, a thoughtful gesture, an unhurried moment of attention. All of it adds up quietly. There's no pressure, no forced expectations. And in the middle of it all, her body starts to respond. Not because someone asked for it, but because she's emotionally nourished. That's how female desire works. When a woman feels loved the right way, sex stops being a performance and becomes a natural consequence of the connection. And the curious part is that she often doesn't even realize what changed. She just knows she wants it more, with more depth and pleasure. That's the silent reward. The man doesn't need to say a word. He feels it in her touch, her gaze, her response. And that's when everything takes on a new rhythm. If you've made it this far, you already understand. That real female desire isn't triggered by strength or performance. It's triggered by how she feels with you. And when a man learns how to activate that in the right way, effortlessly, everything starts to flow more naturally. Throughout the video, we've talked about presence, connection, care, and love languages. Now tell me, have you noticed which love language your wife values the most? Write it in the comments. I want to know what you've identified and how you plan to use it in your day-to-day life. If this content helped you in any way, give the video a like. That thumbs up is more than just support. It tells YouTube this topic matters and helps share the message with other men who need it too. And if you want to dive deeper, check out the other videos on the channel. There's a lot of practical content on relationships, desire, emotional connection, and sexual health after 50. Take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss anything.